Verse 18, now when Simon saw that through the laying on of the apostles' hands the Holy Spirit was given, he offered them money, saying, give me this power also, that anyone on whom I lay my hands may receive the Holy Spirit. But Peter said to him, your money perish with you, because you thought the gift of God could be purchased with money. You have neither part nor portion in this matter, for your heart is not right in the sight of God. You know what's interesting here? Simon sees this, and he thinks to himself, I want to be able to do that. And you know what's interesting about this? Simon actually wants a good thing. He just wants a good thing for the wrong reason. I mean, it would be pretty awesome if all of us would go lay hands on people and they get filled with the Holy Spirit, right? That would be a pretty awesome thing for the church. But the thing is that Simon wanted a good thing with the wrong motivation. And that's, I said there already that things that kill our joy aren't necessarily bad things. They're actually good things that are misappropriated in our heart. Greed in the Bible, especially in the New Testament, is spoken of completely negatively all the time. Judas, one of his big issues was greed, right? He'd steal the money out of the money bag. It was supposed to be for the poor. He got mad at Mary, who broke her dowry, that alabaster flask, and took care of Jesus. Oh, we could have used that money for the poor. And John in his comments said, listen, he didn't really care about the poor. He just liked the money. He stole it. Of course, we have Ananias and Sapphira in Acts chapter 5. Their sin was greed. And now we have Simon. He wants a good thing for the wrong reason. And we have to ask ourselves, honestly, why do we want the things that we want? It's like making a living, providing for your family is a very biblical thing. It's very biblical. It goes so far as saying if you won't work, you won't eat. And there is a fine heart line between providing for your family and being greedy. They're the exact same thing with a different heart line. And we all have to say, Lord, why is it that we want the things that we want? If Simon Magus said, I want this gift so that everybody I meet can be filled with the Holy Spirit, that God would be worshipped, he would never have gotten rebuked by Peter. But he wants to pay money for it because he sees it as a way to make money. He wants it for greed's sake, not for God's sake. He wants it for himself, not the glory of God. And when we think about this, one thing that I find is that in Paul's writing to the church of Corinth, that if we would judge ourselves, we would not be judged. And we live in a culture that is low on self-discernment, self-understanding. We don't spend a lot of time thinking, why do I want what I want? We just want what we want. We figure out a way to get what we want. Not saying, Lord, what's the motivation that's feeding this thing? And I think it's important for us to be able to say, Lord, please, open up my motivation. Why do we want what we want? And we have to be careful about doing things for greed's sake. If you want more to read on this, you can go read 1 Timothy chapter 6, where it speaks about how the love of money is the root of all evil. And the New King James has all kinds of evil, and all kinds is in parentheses, because it really just says it's the root of all evil things, lessen the severity of it. Greed messes with lots of things. And we have to see, and there is a fine line. And so listen, if you're sitting here today and you're getting convicted by the Holy Spirit because you're greedy, don't feel condemned. Maybe just today is the day that we realize it. And in America, greed is a cultural value, isn't it? When was the last time you said, Lord, I want a raise so I can be radically giving? Most of us say, Lord, I want a raise because I am in debt up to my eyeballs for things I didn't really need. I just want to pay it off. Or I want a raise so I can get more square footage on my home. Or I want a raise so that I can build a whatever. Or I was just the other day, I was like, I want a raise so I can get a billboard pool in the backyard. You know what I mean? So I'm not preaching down on anybody. You know what I mean? But it's like, well, why do we want more? Why? And most often, it has nothing to do with anything godly, righteous. It's just us with stuff. I hate to be the bubble popper today, but there's a lot of people, they want to know the scriptures, not so seeing people get raised up within the church. We're not looking to hire, hired guns and mercenaries. That's right. Like you seminarians, don't go to seminary to get a job. Go to seminary because you love God. You want to see people love God. If you love God, you don't need to get paid to do it. You just do it because you do it. That's what God wants from you. It's nothing to do with money. See, when the motivation is gain, money, it's almost always a problem. Because what God does is He takes, and listen, as a husband, kids, my wife stays home with our kids, I understand the pressures of providing for my family. And it honors God for ourselves. It honors God that we sweat and work because that's our lot in this life. It honors God. But the question is where is the line in our hearts from where honoring God by providing begins and ends and we're greedy? And Simon stepped over that line. He didn't just want people to get filled with the Holy Spirit so they love God and everyone believed in Jesus. Like, how awesome with the great joy. He's like, man, I want to pay for this so that I can do this. And there's a lot of people marketing the church for the rest. I mean, Pete Crowder was talking about this. You saw there's, we are financial planners. We help you financially plan in a biblical way. And Pete was mad. He said, sorry, Pete. He was righteous and he sent me an email, man, like, what's up with that? I'm like, yeah, it's just rich marketing. It's just like, yeah, create peace clears a group of people who want things done biblically, so we'll just market our financial services biblically. That's why I encourage you, if you have a good business, don't give out your business card to church. A lot of people do that. And I don't know that anybody is, so don't think I'm like, oh, they must, unless, I don't know that anybody is. But the reality is that people use church as a way to network to build their business, not because they actually care about people, or church, or Jesus. They're just there. We get a steady stream of mail every week. Oh yeah, we have this thing offered to your church. It's like, man, everybody wants to come and market themselves to each other. And don't get me wrong, if you go stealing somebody after me, it's not wrong to work for them. The reality is that that's your motivation. Leave the church. That's a problem. That's your motivation. It's just more for me. That's a problem. And see, Peter sees right through this. And Peter gets mad. He pretty much says in verse 20, one of the, J.B. Phillips, who did a translation of the Bible, in verse 20, your money perish with you. He writes, and this is the guy from a long time ago, to hell with you and your money. That's what he writes. That's how he translates verse 20. To hell with you and your money. People got really offended then. Some people get offended. I just said it right now. But that's the weightiness of what he says.